Dear students, today we are going to see ionic compounds, right? Previous video we have seen formation of ionic compound. That means what is the condition for formation of ionic compounds. Now we are going to see how the ionic compound is formed. Okay, you might have studied ionic compounds, example sodium chloride, calcium chloride, magnesium fluoride, calcium fluoride, sodium sulfate. They are ionic compounds, right? So formation of ionic compounds. Let us see example formation of sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. So first one we take sodium. Sodium, what is the atomic number? 11. So 2, 8, 1. So one valence electron we are writing here, plus chlorine, Cl. So chlorine atomic number is 17. So what is the valence electron? 2, 8, 7. So we represent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, while forming. So last class we studied, previous classes we have studied that formation of ionic compound. One atom loses the electron while other atom gains that electron. Okay, here sodium, it is losing one electron. So that means it is giving this electron to chlorine. So sodium become Na plus. So what you will get? 2, 8. Only configuration. Then chlorine. What is chlorine? You will get Cl minus Cl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then it has come from this one. So 8. Cl minus. Okay. So this is the formation of 2, 8, 8. So this is the formation of sodium chloride, that is equal to, this is plus, this is minus, so it get cancelled. So Na plus and Cl minus, plus and minus you get which one? NaCl. So the formation of sodium chloride. Okay, this you might have studied in 10th standard or lower classes also. Next one, next example, let us take for example calcium fluoride. Calcium fluoride. Okay, what is atomic number of calcium? 20. So calcium can be 2, 8, 8, 2. So we take only valence electron. So 1, 2. Fluorine. So fluorine, 2 fluoride atoms are there. So we can write here one fluorine here, another fluorine here. Fluorine, what is electronic configuration? 2, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So one electron is given to this one, other electron is given to this fluorine atom. So what you will get? You are getting here also 2, 8, 7. 2, 8, 7. Okay, so calcium lost 2 electrons, so it becomes Ca2 plus. And fluorine, how many we can write together? 2F minus. So 2F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2F minus, that gives CaF2. CaF2. So we already studied which one? Calcium valency is 2. In lower classes, fluorine valency is 1. So if you put cross, so what do you get? Which one? CaF2. So this is how the ionic compounds are formed. Ionic compounds are formed by losing, one atom loses the electron while the other atom gains the electron. So formation of sodium chloride. Now let us see what are the properties of ionic compounds. Okay, So ionic compounds, there are different properties of ionic compounds. Let us discuss now. So properties of ionic compounds. Number 2, properties of ionic compounds. Ionic compounds. Number 1, they are non-directional. They are non-directional. Okay, normally ionic compounds, you don't get ionic compounds in discrete molecule. Like that, for example, NaCl, if you take one Na and one Cl, you won't get like this one. It will be like this in the form of lattice. So normally ionic compounds, we use formula of the ionic compounds, and formula mass we calculate, right? So here NaCl, so there is one lattice, big lattice. So lattice, I think this we will study in solid state in +2, right? So, okay, so non-directional. Second one, generally they have high melting point and boiling point. Third one, general characters. Okay, there are covalent compounds are there, like diamond, all these things, they have very high melting point, okay, and boiling point. But generally we compare this one. Ionic compounds, normally they have high melting and general condition, high melting and boiling point. They conduct electricity. They do not conduct electricity in solid state, but they conduct electricity in aqueous, aqueous, aqueous or molten state. Okay, so ionic compounds, you see the force of attraction ions, Na plus and Cl minus, so positive and negative ions. So the force of attraction is very, very strong. As a result, suppose for example solids, NaCl solid, if you take, they do not conduct electricity. So what you have to do, either you have to melt it. So when you melt it, almost nearly 800 Kelvin temperature is needed. So if you apply that temperature, it becomes molten state. In molten state, ions are formed. So they conduct electricity. Or in aqueous state, how when you dissolve in water, what happens? This one, Na plus and Cl minus can be separated. Ions are formed. So when ions are formed, if you pass current, what happens? Cations go to cathode and anions go to anode, right? So positive and negative ions are produced. As a result, they conduct electricity. Okay. Fourth point, what we can have, they are soluble in polar solvents. Insoluble in non-polar solvents. Okay, polar solvents, you see, polar substance, because they are soluble. So ionic compounds, when you take, suppose normally polar substances dissolve in polar solvents. That like dissolves like, we use the term like, dissolves like. Okay, that means polar substances dissolve in polar solvents. For example, ammonia, you can take ammonia, HCl, these are polar substances. If you dissolve in water, if you put in water, it dissolves, right? Next one, ionic compounds also. Polar substances and ionic compounds, they dissolve in water. But non-polar substances dissolve in non-polar compounds. non-polar substances dissolve in non-polar solvents. So non-polar means what you can tell non-polar. Suppose for example hydrocarbons CH4, C2H6, these are non-polar substances. They dissolve in non-polar solvents. You can tell non-polar solvents, carbon tetrachloride, ether, benzene, all these things are non-polar solvents, right? So what happens this one? Suppose for example, I told you already, if you want to melt sodium chloride, what happens? You are separating the ions. Okay, because their intermolecular force of attraction is very, very strong. As a result, you have to apply high temperature to separate these ions, right? But you just imagine if you take 1 teaspoonful of salt, sodium chloride, and you put in water, it dissolves immediately. Okay, what is the reason? Because water is a good solvent. The dielectric constant of water is high. So in water, what is the water's dielectric constant is 78. Okay, so the force which you are trying to separate the ions, that means you can tell this one, the force is equal to K into Q1 Q2 divided by D into R square. Okay, K is the constant, Q1 charge of the, suppose for example NaCl, this is plus, this is minus. When it is solid state, NaCl, they are very closely packed, means attraction is very, very strong. So Q1 charge of positive ion, Q2 charge of negative ion. So D is called dielectric constant. D is dielectric constant. Electric constant. R, what is R? R is internuclear distance between the two atoms, two ions, internuclear distance. Nuclear distance between two ions. Two ions. Okay, so suppose for example you have to separate these ions, so you are applying nearly, the temperature is 800 Kelvin, nearly. That means the dielectric constant, suppose sodium and chlorine. So in between this one, this medium is vacuum or air. Air or vacuum. Air or vacuum. You can tell this one, in between this one, the vacuum, the dielectric constant is 1. In case of water, for water the dielectric constant is 78. Okay, so when this is 1, what happened? This one, the force is very, very strong, right? When if you put in water, that it decreases, the force of attraction decreases by the factor of 78. Okay, so as a result, the ions separate very easily. So when dielectric constant of water is increases, when very, very important point, the dielectric, already we know water is a good solvent because it has high boiling point, melting point, so many characters, high density. As a result, normally we use solvent, we use water as a solvent. So the dielectric constant increases, dielectric constant increases. What happened? This one, the force decreases, the solubility, the dielectric constant increases, so the force, the solubility increases. Okay, that means the force decreases. As a result, the ions Na plus and Cl minus ions can be separated very, very easily. Okay, the next one, these ionic compounds, I think fifth point, these ionic compounds, the reaction of ionic compounds is very fast. The reaction of ionic compounds in aqueous medium, the reaction is very, very fast. Okay, so when you see here one, the reaction of ionic compounds in aqueous medium, aqueous medium, it is fast, very fast. Example, what you can tell? Example for any reactions you can tell. You can write neutralization reaction. That everybody knows this one because we studied in 10th standard. Neutralization reaction. The example, what we know, that I am taking from 10th standard, neutralization reaction. Second one, you might have studied precipitation reaction or double precipitation reaction or double displacement. You might have studied precipitation reaction. These are the reaction we will study later in equilibrium and everything. Now this is just example. So in aqueous medium, the reactions of ionic compound is very, very fast. Next one is ionic compounds. They do not show isomerism. Sixth one. They do not show isomerism. Isomerism you will study in carbon compounds or covalent compounds. Okay, these are the properties of ionic compounds. Okay, so now what we studied the formation of ionic compounds and properties of ionic compounds. Okay, now the remaining thing, next we will go to covalent, formation of covalent bond, that we will see in the next video. Okay, thank you.